Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Grace Pod. So, today looks a little bit different because I am actually out of town visiting some family, and I didn't want to miss the opportunity to still create some content. So, today I am actually very, very excited for the topic. It actually has a lot to do with my upcoming fast, which is the Daniel fast. Now, before you say anything, I know a lot of people, they don't consider the Daniel fast to be a fast. And if I'm being honest, it is a partial fast. Okay, so an actual fast would be abstaining from food and drinks and sometimes even water for a certain amount of days. So that could be 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is, between you and God that you decide to abstain from these things. But the Daniel fast is actually 21 days of abstaining from certain foods. So no caffeine, no sugar, no processed sugar, no meat, no dairy, no, I can't think of everything off the top of my head, but basically it is a plant-based diet, and it is called the Daniel fast because it is based on the book of Daniel, where he decided to eat only fruits and vegetables instead of what the king's food. So in this 21 days, it is an opportunity to grow spiritually. So I've done this fast for the last 5, 6 years. Um, I started out doing it on my own, and actually, the first time that I did it, I didn't have a lot of spiritual covering, so I didn't understand the spiritual warfare. So now that I've had a few under my belt, I really, really love talking about this and helping people to prepare for this. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so now that we know what the Daniel fast is, let's talk about how we can actually prepare for the Daniel fast. So, because it is 21 days of abstaining from foods, even though you are actually eating, your body is still going to crave those certain foods, especially for the first week. So, I always like to prepare for my fast in advance. So, I start out even a few weeks in advance by just cleaning out my cabinet, cleaning out my refrigerator, and just eliminating those foods that I know that will be tempting on the Daniel fast. Now, I do have a child, so obviously I still have to have snacks for her. And honestly, I'm just disciplined enough to not enjoy any of her snacks, even on a regular basis. We just don't share the same snacks. So for me, it has become a lot easier over time. But just getting rid of those snacks is going to tremendously help you in the long run. So as I'm eliminating those things, I'm also preparing in my mind for the things that I'm going to purchase, because this is 21 days. So this is 3 weeks that you're going to be consistently eating like this. Now, about a week, or I'm sorry, a few days to a week, I'll start buying the foods. So the rice, the beans, the foods that I'm going to prepare. Obviously, fruits and vegetables, you don't want to buy those too far in advance. But sorry guys, there's people, this is a public this is a public area, so I'm not expecting to be alone. But anyway, so buying the foods that I know that I want to cook. Naturally, I do have in mind already things that I want to buy, but it does help a lot to have a menu. So, Pinterest is honestly amazing for meal ideas. It also, you can get a list of different foods that you should buy. I like to prepare certain meals and certain snacks, so I'll buy my items based on the things that I want to prepare. There are so that I know that I'm not wasting my money on things. Because, I don't, for the most part, I do eat healthy, but there's some things that I don't always eat unless I'm on the Daniel fast. So just preparing my groceries ahead of time. Now, once you get the groceries, preparing certain foods so that way when you do get started, you will or you'll have snacks on hand, because let me tell you, when you get hungry, that is when the enemy creeps in and tempts you with those snacks and things that we're not supposed to be having while we're on the Daniel fast. So just having snacks on hand is really going to make this a breeze, I promise. Now, the first week, I can tell you, is going to be the hardest. The second week, honestly, things just become natural and easier. And then the third week is just a breeze. But also, in the past, I've noticed myself start to get like a little bit lazy and start to have like a few exceptions here and there. Nothing crazy, but you know, just having the mindset that you want to have your meals planned out in advance, because that is really, really going to save you. I promise. Now let's talk about some of the benefits that come from this fast. So for everybody, it's going to be a little bit different, okay? I do want to just encourage you to have an intention. So some intentions that I've had is, maybe I'm going to be moving soon, so I just want to get clarity on, where does God want me to move to, or, just for God to open up doors and opportunities for me to be able to move, things like that. Also praying for different family members, like it's not all about you. If you have a family member that maybe needs help in certain areas, it wouldn't hurt to add them to your intention list, because it could be a multitude of things. It doesn't have to be one specific thing. So just some examples. I've done this fast so many times and it's changed every single time. But what I will say is every single time the Lord has came through. And it does. Now this is important, because on the 21st day, honestly, when I first started doing this fast, I was under the impression that on the 21st day there was going to be like ribbons in the sky, or like it was just going to be this grand finale. And to my surprise, I was disappointed every time, because it feels like it's just you're closing the chapter on something, but you're like kind of in a transition where you're like, okay, the fast is over, now what? And the Lord can work quickly. So I've seen the Lord work in the middle of the fast. I've seen the Lord answer my prayers a couple weeks down the line, months down the line. The Lord is really just responding to your act of obedience. So I know that a lot of people will tell you that this is not a true fast, but I am going to tell you that it is an opportunity to grow closer to Christ and incorporate a healthy lifestyle. So also with this fast, you will start to see body changes. So if you're looking like to lose some weight, or just be a little more health conscious, this is a really good kickstart outside of the spiritual practice of it. That is one thing that I also love about it, is that you can still eat while you're doing this fast, but obviously you're not eating a lot of protein, a lot of meats. So just depending on what your goals are, that's depends on you, that your body, your goals. But I will say that it does have some amazing body benefits, especially internally. So I am also a huge health advocate for taking care of your body internally. If you don't know already, I am an esthetician. Okay, so I have my license in advanced aesthetics, as well as a license to educate others on aesthetics. So I have some teaching background, and I absolutely love aesthetics. And a lot of people, they just look at it as different creams and procedures and yada yada yada. But really, it starts inside. So taking care of your body inside. Let me tell you, your skin is your largest organ. So by you feeding your body nutrients, it has to reach all of the other organs before it actually reaches your skin. So for instance, water. A lot of times when we are dehydrated, it starts to show up on our skin. But really, imagine what our insides are suffering from if we're not intaking enough water, enough fruits, or enough vegetables. So just, I don't know where I'm going with this, but sorry guys, I have a lot of distractions out here, so I'm used to just being in a quiet room, just me and my dogs. But you know what, we're still gonna go for it, because even though I'm out of town, I'm still obedient, and I still want to continue to be consistent with my uploads. So here we are, guys, outside, and also I am in Southern California. That's where my family lives, and it is actually really, really beautiful today. It's not too cold. It's a little chilly, but actually, before I came out here, this nice man, he works here, but I was sitting by the fireplace. I don't know if you could see the fire, but I didn't have it on. I was just sitting here. I was just looking for a good well lit area to record my video, and this man came out and he said, let me turn the fire on for you. So that was just so sweet, and it just lets me know that the Lord is still looking out for me, and using other people to assist me and help me, because this is a little bit outside of my comfort zone. Also, I don't have any notes or anything, so I'm just kind of talking off the fly here, as well as there being like many distractions. But yes, I 100% think that there is benefits in doing the Daniel fast. Now, we can argue all day long about if it is actually a fast, but what I want to say is that it has benefits. Whether it's a fast or not, it does have its benefits, and that is why I continue to do this fast. I'm going to continue to call it a fast, but that is why I continue to do this every single year for the last 5-6 years, twice a year actually. So this year I'm actually, for the last, I want to say 3-4 years, I've done it with my church in January. So I do January, and then 6 to 7 months in, so halfway through the year, I do it on my own. When I'm doing it with my church, I like to announce it and have other people to join in on it, and make it just fun community fast. But when I'm doing it by myself, it's just something I just keep to myself. I don't really tell anybody about it, because when you're fasting, you're not actually supposed to tell people about it. But with like community fast, is it called community fast? I think it's called community fast. Obviously, there's multiple people, so everyone's kind of just expressing, to each other that they're fasting. And also, you can keep your intentions to yourself. So obviously, I'm going to have some intentions that I'm going to keep to myself, but there's also going to be intentions that I'm going to speak out loud, because I'm just believing God to show up and show out, and God has done that so many times, so I have completely full confidence that He will do that again. But yeah, I just really want to encourage you to, even if you don't do 21 days of fasting, just starting off your year fasting in general. So whether that be a dry fast or some kind of modified fast between you and the Lord, fasting can be hard, and honestly, it took me a while before I was able to actually just completely go without food or water for a couple of days. It took me years of just disciplining my body to, just turn away my plate. So at first it will start off as some hours I wouldn't eat, or like a day I wouldn't eat. And then like it got better and better with time. So, I do understand that it is hard to fast. And then a lot of people will just kind of scare you and tell you like, oh, be careful, you know, you don't want to end up in the hospital or something. But honestly, don't listen to those lies, because if the Lord has called you to a fast, the Lord is going to bring you through the fast, and the enemy is going to send people to try to discourage you. But continue to be encouraged, and continue to follow through with whatever the fast is between you and the Lord. So this is obviously a 21-day commitment, but maybe God's calling you to do something else. Maybe God wants you on a 3-day water fast. That's totally between you and the Lord. But I will be doing the fast. So today, when I release this video, it will be January 1st, but I am actually going to be doing the fast from January 6th through January 26th, 2025. Oh my God, I can't even believe we're already going to be in 2025. But yeah, so I'll be doing that, and I also will be posting updates on my Instagram, because with this fast, I'm doing it with my church, and I want it to be loud and proud, and I just know the Lord is going to show up. Before I give you back your day, I do want to give you some awesome testimonies. So one of the reasons why I felt super encouraged to create a video while I'm here in California visiting my family is because that's where I started my very first Daniel fast. And during that time in my life, I was actually living with my great grandmother, sleeping on a blow-up bed, and I just didn't have much to my name. And you know, thankfully I had family around me that gave me a roof over my head and love and all of those things. But you know, I was really struggling. The Lord had really stripped me down to basically my socks, and I know why. But anyways, so I remember when I was wanting to get my life back on track, and you know, I kind of felt like I had been in that season for so long, and I had started to grow weary, and the Lord led me to a Daniel fast. And so I used to sit at my grandmother's table every morning. You know, I watched a video just like this, and you know, she talked about how she did her fast, how she, you know, what got her through. I watched many videos actually, and I decided to do the Daniel fast. And honestly, when I look back, a lot of those things I probably should have not been eating, but the Lord see my heart, and so that's why you have to go off of what you and the Lord are discussing, okay? And so anyways, I currently live in Las Vegas, and I wanted to be able to move back to Las Vegas. I had not been able to find a job to save my life, and as a result of the fast, I got a job in Las Vegas, got a home, and you know, I was able to start my life over, and that was the result of me being obedient to the Daniel fast. Another one of my favorite testimonies is when I was teaching, and it was my first year teaching. You know, clearly I felt like I was good because I was a vessel for the Lord, but like in my own power, I was just you know, I wasn't all that. So I remember my students, they did love me though, and I did ask them if they wanted to come. So what my church does is, at the end of our 21-day fast, we have a worship night where you can come and get baptized. Okay, so at the end of that worship night, I invited them, and I said, do you guys want to, they weren't in the fast or anything, I was doing the fast, but I said, do you guys want to come and get baptized, and or just, you know, just come and check out my church? And I'm telling you, 5 of them got in that water, and they gave their life to Jesus. And I could not, God blew my mind, because it was just a thought in my head, something that I wanted to see, but I didn't actually think that it was going to happen. But I have photos to prove those women gave their life to Jesus, and honestly, it has nothing to do with me. It was the power of the Holy Spirit that was working through me. through my obedience to that fast. And so those are just a few of my favorite testimonies. I have so many testimonies from the Daniel fast, and this is why I continue to do it every single year, because I know that if the Lord has called you to do that, then that's because not always does he have something for you, like physically or a blessing, but sometimes he wants to speak to you. Like maybe he wants to give you clarity on something. So there could be many reasons why he's calling you to do this fast. But like I said, I just encourage you to just try it. If it's not for you, maybe, don't do it again, but it wouldn't hurt to try, and honestly just give the Lord the opportunity to do a work in you through that fast. I thank you so much for watching this video and being very patient with me. As I honestly, guys, it took me like 30 minutes just to set up this video and try to find a space. I'm so used to just having my already set out spot for me in my home, but this was actually fun, and I'm really just enjoying being outside and just seeing how beautiful the Lord's creation is. But anyways, Happy New Year, and again, thank you for watching this video.